Okay, so let's get started. I hope I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, audible.
Okay, great. So hi everyone, welcome to the first session for the Java Full Stack Developer Certification course. So in this course, we are going to learn the each and everything related to the Java Full Stack development. So as a Java Full Stack developer, we will start for the beginner. Okay, so it will be from the scratch. So whoever has completed their education in the IT background and they wanted to learn the new programming language. Obviously, you all know this Java language if you are coming from the computer science background or IT background. So this language is already there into your syllabus as well. So you will definitely familiar with this. But there are some candidates who are coming from some different background and they might not aware about the Java language. So from that stage, for considering them as well, we will start from the scratch where we will start the Java program from the notepad first and how we can take it to the development through the different IDEs and how we can build the full stack development or full stack application, web application through the Java programming language and then how we can deploy that. So it is from the beginner to the deployment to the advanced concept we will learn here. Okay, so the journey will be we will start from the scratch. I will just assume that you are not aware about anything about this programming language, and at the end, whenever we will complete this course, you will be having the confidence of creating the end-to-end application by your own, and you will also will able to survive your job once you get your dream job. Okay, so that is the main purpose of this course, and this is how I have designed for this course. So each and every module I have designed from the by taking the notes and by looking at the real-time situations. So based on my experience, what things we should cover in the in this course, I have everything has added. Okay. So first of all, my name is Bapu Pawar. I have total 11 years of experience in the IT industry, where I have developed around 110 plus applications, and in that, most of the applications are live. There are some clients from the domestic, there are some clients from the USA as well. So I have very good experience in developing the end-to-end softwares for the desktop as well as web application, and we have two more trainers who will be conduct this batch along with me. So it is not something only one trainer will conduct this batch. We have three people, including me. They will basically cover couple of modules, and you will also enjoy this course end to end. And you can also interact with the instructor whenever you want. So we will have 1.5 hours daily basis uh, dedicated hours, and you can attend this batch online as well as offline. So we have the setup in the Baner office where you can come daily basis 1.5 hours, and there you can also attend this session daily basis. If you are outside of the Pune, you can attend the same session online with the help of Zoom meeting. Now let's talk about what are all topics we are going to cover as a part of this batch. So first one is module 1, that is programming foundations. Okay, so it is the model I have designed for gaining the understanding about the object-oriented programming fundamentals and how we can start with the core Java. So in the core Java, you will get the understanding about the programming language, what are all programming languages are available in the market, and how we can basically start with them. अभी क्या होता है कि as a student, if I don't know anything about the programming language, I will not make out कि कहाँ से शुरू करना है. ओके, अगर मुझे एक वेब एप्लीकेशन बनाना है, सो व्हाट शुड बी माय स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट, व्हाट विल बी द एंट्री पॉइंट. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी विल बेसिकली think like that way, and then we start from the scratch where student can make out ki what will be the initial starting point for me to learn this Java program and how I can develop the project. So first of all, introduction we will take. So introduction में क्या होगा कि programming language कौन से होते हैं. Java तो है as compared to Java, other programming languages है जैसे कि Python है, C++, C Sharp है, और एक Java है, Golang भी है. So why Java? Okay, so Java is open source language and we can also develop. It is a machine learning programming language as well. So there are a lot of machines, जैसे कि एक washing machine है, सो वो वॉशिंग मशीन में जो भी प्रोग्राम्स हम यूज करते हैं डेली बेसिस, those programs are developed with the help of Java language itself. So Java language is like a long term. It is not something कि एक नया कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज आएगा they will replace the Java. That is not possible. Okay, it is something for the long term, where if you start with the Java language today, it will be stay with you at the end of the journey of the software developer. Okay, so that's why it is very important thing you can start with. You can go with Python as well as C Sharp. They are having their own advantages, and Java is also having its own set of community, and it has large amount of materials available that you can reuse in your projects for doing the faster development. Okay, so while working with the Java, you will have to install the JDK. So JDK means Java Development Kit, and that is something the starting point where you can run your first Hello World Java program. Okay, so how to download that? What what things we need to basically uh, should have? What will be the laptop configuration? What should be the resources in order to set up your development environment with the help of JDK? So that you will have to download. Then we will use two IDs. Either IntelliJ is one of the IDE or Eclipse is another one. Okay, so I think both are good at their own stage. We will go with both. Okay, in the companies they will mostly use IntelliJ as of now, but Eclipse is also good one. So we can go with either one and we start our development with the help of them. And while writing the Java program, you will get the understanding of the data types, variable, operators. Okay, so data types means, like for example, I wanted to uh, basically enter some numbers. Okay, and those number we need to keep somewhere in the memory. Once I keep those number in the memory, then I will have to give some names to them. So that is the variable. So what kind of data I have hold inside the computer's memory, that is your data type. So it can be number, boolean, string, or classes. There are two types like primitive and non-primitive. So that we will discuss in detail. Okay, while learning this module one, there are some variables we need to create. I just given the example, like whatever data we are storing in the memory, we need to give some name to that variable so that way we can use that variable inside our program for the multiple different operations or calculations. There are three types of loops as well, like while loop, for loop, do while loop, for of loop. So these loops we can use inside the Java in order to reiterate the same set of statement again and again multiple times. So this will be used for reusability purpose and minimize your number of lines. एक ही ऑपरेशन आपको बार बार करना है. So उसको let's say I want to print 1 to 10 numbers, right? So in the Java we can use like system.out.println. So ये जो statement है, that statement we should not write 10 times, because there is a chances client or a business user may ask you to print it 1000 times. So this is not the realistic situation now. You cannot add 1000 lines there. Instead of that, you can use the for loop where you can dynamically call that line in a iteration of 1000 times. Give me a minute. Okay, so let's move on. We will discuss about methods as well. So methods is like a functions that we can use in order to, it will have its own basically block of statement that we can execute whenever we want. So it is just for the reusability purpose, and we can organize our statements or code based on their use. Okay, and whenever you want to call that method, we can call it by the method name. So method has multiple things like method calling, method definition, and method signature. So that we can discuss. While calling the method, we have to pass the parameters as well. Why? Because I wanted to make that method dynamic in order to work with my input and give me the output based on the input. So for that, how to pass the parameter, what kind of parameters we can pass, that we can discuss in detail. Then we will move on to the object-oriented programming. So while working with the Java language, Java is a pure object-oriented programming language. So whenever we will write the code, that should be understandable, maintainable, as well as reusable. So in that case, we will learn this object-oriented programming where we will learn about the classes, their object, and we have three different pillars in the object-oriented programming, that is inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and then abstraction, four pillars. So in the inheritance, we have multiple types like single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. So in the Java, multiple inheritance is not supported. We can achieve that with the help of interfaces that we will discuss in detail. Now, next thing is polymorphism. So polymorphism is something we can reuse the same entity into multiple different forms. So we have two types of polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism and static polymorphism. So inside the static polymorphism, we will have the method overloading where we can have a same method name with multiple parameter list. And method overriding is also there where we can change the definition of the method based on the current child concrete class, and it will have the same method name, same parameter list. Okay, that we can discuss in detail whenever we will learn this module. I'm just giving the high level overview of each and every topic. So I know that there are some candidates may not understand why what I'm talking about, but just giving the high level information what all these topics are related to and what are they all about. There is an encapsulation. So encapsulation is the concept where we can basically have some private member variable and their values we can manipulate through some setter method of a same class. And why we will do that? For achieving some we can say privacy of the class or some private memory variables those you don't want to expose outside of the class. Okay, I will give the real-time example so you will gain more understanding of it. There is a abstraction concept as well where we will have the abstract class interfaces. So with the help of those we can achieve the proper abstraction as well. Okay, so this is the object oriented related little bit knowledge, and later we will move on to the exception handling. So in the exception handling basically क्या होता है कि कभी कभी हमने एक पूरा प्रोजेक्ट बना लिया, ओके, एंड यू हैवंट हैंडल दोज एक्सेप्शन प्रॉपरली. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, देयर इज अ चांसेस योर प्रोग्राम में थ्रो द एक्सेप्शन एट द रन टाइम. एट द रन टाइम कैसे थ्रो कर सकता है, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे पास एक लॉगिन फॉर्म है. ओके, लॉगिन फॉर्म आपने किसी ब्राउज़र पे गए, वेबसाइट ओपन किया, मान लो गूगल का जीमेल अकाउंट ओपन करना है. सो यू विल गेट द यूजर नेम पासवर्ड बॉक्सेस देयर एंड देयर इज अ लॉगिन बटन. नाउ whenever I click on the login button, I'm getting the error that internal server error 500. ओके, सो ये क्यों हो रहा है? सो ये एक्सेप्शन आपको प्रॉपर हैंडल भी करना पड़ेगा. सो बेस्ड ऑन सम कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इश्यूज और सम यूजर इनपुट्स, रन टाइम एरर्स, आपको कभी कभी क्या होता है, आपका प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट होता है. अभी दिस इज योर वेब एप्लीकेशन, सो इट विल नॉट डायरेक्टली टर्मिनेटेड, इट विल शो यू सम एरर. बट लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ योर डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन. आपने एक एप्लीकेशन ओपन किया, कुछ ऑपरेशंस आप कर रहे हो, एंड इन बिटवीन सडनली वो एप्लीकेशन क्रैश हो गया. सो क्रैश हो गया मतलब वो बंद हो गया. ओके, मान लो आप कुछ लॉगिन डिटेल्स एंटर कर रहे हो, लॉगिन बटन पे क्लिक कर रहे हो. जैसे ही लॉगिन बटन पे क्लिक करते हो क्या होता है कि आपका एप्लीकेशन क्रैश हो जाता है. एप्लीकेशन क्रैश होने के बाद फिर आप you will wonder ki what happened. I just wanted to log in. It should show me the dashboard page. I have entered the proper credentials as well, and suddenly application बंद हो गया. So you will get frustrated there. Okay. So to avoid such kind of situation, we need to handle the runtime exceptions with the help of try catch and finally block. अभी runtime exception आने के क्या वजह हो सकते हैं? So there is a chances you will get the runtime exception due to some user input. जैसे कि for example you are doing some calculations into your calculator and you have entered first number that is 10 divided by 0. Okay, you will get arithmetic exception because whenever you will try to divide any number with the 0 you will get the infinity, and in that case our Java program will throw the exception. Once you got the runtime exception your program will terminate it. So to avoid this termination, you can use a try block. So try block is the block where you can basically add the code that might throw the exception based on your user input. You know that this is the code. It is very risky. अगर यूजर ने कुछ गलत इनपुट डाल दिए, so it might throw the exception. If you are sure that you can put that code inside the try block and there will be a catch block as well where you will handle that exception. So अगर किसी ने मान लो डिवीजन ऑपरेशन था, डिवीजन करते टाइम किसी ने जीरो डाल दिया in order to divide the 10 with the zero, so you can show the error message properly that invalid input, please enter some positive number. So उससे क्या होता है कि your program will not terminate, instead it will show the message to the user where they are trying to where they are basically sending the invalid input. So they will start sending the input which is a positive integer, and then it will do the division accordingly. So this is what the main use of the exception handling is. Later we will go for the arrays, strings as well. So arrays we can use when you want to store the multiple values into one single variable, and there is a chances you will come across such kind of situation. For example, एक ई कॉमर्स का वेबसाइट है, ओके, जैसे कि फ्लिपकार्ट मान लो. सो फ्लिपकार्ट की वेबसाइट है, आपने क्या किया कि यू हैव एडेड टू आइटम्स इनटू योर कार्ट. So we can consider कि there will be some variable in the background which will hold two items in one memory location. So that way we can retrieve all of them whenever you want to see them. So जब भी आपको कार्ट देखना है कि मेरे कार्ट में कितने आइटम्स मैंने ऐड किए हैं, so those similar kind of items we can add into one single variable that can be your array. और you can go with some collection as well. So collection में तीन टाइप होते हैं. पहला होता है लिस्ट, सेट एंड मैप, और इनके भी सब टाइप्स होते हैं. एरे लिस्ट है, हैश मैप है, हैश सेट है. So each one has its own meaning. So these are the data structure actually. When we should go with which data structure, we can discuss that in detail whenever we start this topic. There is a generic as well. So generic is like, जैसे कि मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बताया कि हमारे पास एक मेथड रहता है. मान लो आपने एक मेथड बनाया कि आई वांट टू ऐड वन फ्रूट इनटू द बकेट, ओके. जैसे कि आप किसी शॉपिंग मॉल में जाते हो तो आपको एक बकेट मिलता है. सो इन दैट बकेट यू कैन ऐड योर फ्रूट्स, यू कैन ऐड सम अदर मटेरियल्स एज वेल, अदर प्रोडक्ट्स एज वेल, जैसे कि कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट है, या फिर कुछ आपने किराना लिया हुआ है, या फिर कुछ आपने कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स लिए है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स वी कैन ऐड इनटू योर कार्ट, राइट? सो दैट इज योर बकेट. So same thing, we need to design a function the way it can work for any kind of data type. That is your generic. Okay, मुझे एक फंक्शन लिखना है, जो फंक्शन क्या करेगा, मुझे किसी भी डेटा टाइप के रिलेटेड जो भी मैंने लॉजिक लिखा है, दैट लॉजिक शुड रन फॉर ईच एंड एवरी डेटा टाइप, एनी डेटा टाइप. So I will pass data type as a template. Okay, and then same logic you can reuse for that data type as well. So this is your generic. We can see the real-time example for that as well. Okay, फाइल हैंडलिंग एक कंसेप्ट है. उसमें क्या होता है कि मान लो आपको कुछ फाइल्स रीड करने हैं, जैसे कि एक्सेल फाइल है, CSV फाइल है, या फिर कुछ टेक्स्ट फाइल है. कभी कभी होता है कि आपके पास लॉग फाइल रहते हैं, डॉट लॉग, उसमें रहते हैं कि किसी एप्लीकेशन के रिलेटेड लॉग्स रहते हैं. यू वांट टू रीड देम, एनालाइज देम एंड प्रोड्यूस सम इनसाइट्स आउट ऑफ इट. So in order to do some file handling related operations, there are some classes available in the Java that we can use in order to work with the files. Okay, we'll see that. Then there is a Java 8. So Java 8 में कुछ नए फीचर्स आए थे जो हम सीखने वाले हैं, जिसमें स्ट्रीम्स है, लैम्बडा एक्सप्रेशन है, फंक्शन इंटरफेसेस है, और सो ऑन. बहुत सारे अदर फीचर्स भी हैं जावा 8 के अंदर. दोज वी विल लर्न हियर as a part of core Java only. And after the Java 17 and Java 11, there are some more enhancement has happened. So those enhancement we will also learn. So this is the basic programming we will do as a part of first module. So as a student, अगर आपको मान लो एज अ जावा डेवलपर काम करना है किसी कंपनी में, लेकिन यू आर नॉट हैविंग एनी आइडिया, so this module is designed for them only. So by going through this module only you will gain the understanding or interest into the programming language. जैसे ही आपको ये सब टॉपिक आने लग जाएंगे, तब जाके आपका एक लॉजिक बिल्डिंग होगा, आपका एक इंटरेस्ट बढ़ेगा प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज के टूवर्ड्स. मोस्टली क्या होता है कि अगर किसी को प्रोग्राम लिखने को बोला तो उनको लगता है कि यार ये हार्ड है, मुझसे नहीं होगा. So that kind of confidence we will build as a part of this first module. Okay, once we learn all these topics, so this is not only theoretical, we will go with the practical only. Once we done with all the hands-on practice on all these topics, we will do one mini project here. That is the लाइब्रेरी मैनेजमेंट कंसोल एप्लीकेशन। उसमें हम बुक्स लेंगे, देन वो बुक्स हम कुछ स्टूडेंट को असाइन करेंगे, कब असाइन किया था, कब उसने रिटर्न किया, उसका फीस दिया था नहीं दिया था, लेट फी है, फाइन है। ये सब मॉड्यूल्स हम एक मिनी प्रोजेक्ट लेने वाले हैं जो हम 2-3 घंटे में कंप्लीट करेंगे in the real time session itself. Okay, so this mini project will mostly happen on the weekend, so that way 3 घंटे से ज़्यादा 4 घंटे लगे, so you should be able to get that much of time. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, no problem. So let's move on. Any questions on this module? Anyone?
सर इसमें डीएस से भी और क्या है?
Yeah, I mean data structure देखो यहाँ पे, you can see इस collection से list है, set है, map है. ओके, और इनके सब टाइप्स आते हैं, वो कब कौन सा यूज करना है आई विल टेल यू, नो प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो वंस यू डन विद द मॉड्यूल फर्स्ट यू विल गेन द अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट द जावा प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. ओके, आपको थोड़ा प्रोग्राम्स या फिर लॉजिक बिल्डिंग के लिए आपको यहाँ पे हेल्प हो जाएगा. नाउ हाउ वी कैन यूज दिस प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज फॉर बिल्डिंग द रियल टाइम एप्लीकेशन. सो फॉर दैट यू विल हैव टू लर्न फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एडवांस जावा. ओके, अभी जो हमने देखा है वो जस्ट जावा प्रोग्राम्स है. ओके, कोर जावा है. How you can use the Java concept in order to build your console application. Now, no one will create the console application. It is just for logic building. Now, we have to develop the web application. For developing the web application, we first of all need to learn the second thing, that is advanced Java. So, कैसा रहता है कि वेब एप्लीकेशन में 3 टायर होते हैं या 3 लेयर्स होते हैं. एक रहता है फ्रंट एंड, मिडल लेयर एंड बैक एंड. ओके, सो जो मिडल लेयर रहता है उसमें एपीआईज के प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं. Those projects will have some business logic as well as some concept in order to process the request coming from the user, background jobs, and then the logic to communicate with the database. And backend is nothing but your database itself. Okay, so let's get the understanding about the server side concept, means middle layer. So in that we will learn the JDBC. So JDBC मतलब जावा डेटाबेस कनेक्टिविटी. सो इससे क्या होगा कि यू विल गेट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ वी कैन कम्युनिकेट विद द डेटाबेस फ्रॉम द जावा. while doing that you will have to do CRUD operation. So CRUD operation यानी create, read, update, delete operation. So let's say I want, while working with the लाइब्रेरी मैनेजमेंट प्रोजेक्ट, आपको बुक्स ऐड करने हैं, स्टूडेंट्स ऐड करने हैं, बुक स्टूडेंट को असाइन करने हैं. सो कुछ मास्टर टेबल रहते हैं, कुछ ट्रांजैक्शनल डेटा रहता है. So those things we will basically add into the database through this JDBC. So JDBC एक driver है. With the help of that driver, you can basically communicate with the database with the normal SQL query. Okay, you can directly write the SQL query into the Java, or you can create the store procedure and you can call them from the Java language. But this is the driver which will help you to do the communication between the Java and the database. So we will see how we can create the new entity, how we can delete that, how we can update it and delete it. Okay, we can see the connection pooling as well, how many concurrent connections we can have with the database, how we can uh, auto scale that. Okay, we'll discuss on that part. Then there is a servlet as well. So servlet is like to handle the server side request, to request response, listeners, filters, those we will see mostly. Nowadays we will use the Spring Boot only. Servlet अभी उतना ज़्यादा यूज़ नहीं होता है. Then but still, if you join some company and they're using some legacy applications, so and they're still using the servlet, then you should have that understanding. So we will go with that. JSP क्या रहता है कि जावा सर्वर पेजेस, जिसमें फ्रंट एंड एंड मिडल लेयर ये दोनों का लॉजिक होता है. ओके, जिससे हम एक डायनामिक सर्वर साइड पेज जनरेट करते हैं एंड देन इट विल गेट टू द रेंडर टू द ब्राउजर. और जेएसपी भी हम देखने वाले हैं. ये एक एक्सप्रेशन लैंग्वेज है, JSTL एंड EL, विल सी दैट. And then we will come to the MVC architecture. So in the MVC architecture, there is a model, view, and controller. So this will be your Spring MVC, where we can have the model. Model यानी database related जो classes रहते हैं और DTOs रहते हैं, that will be stay there in the model. View यानी your presentation layer. In that, we will have the HTML, CSS, JavaScript related code to build the UI of the HTML page, and then C for controller. So controller यानी handling the request and response in replacement of your servlet. Okay, so that architecture we will see here. And then we also need to see the session management. Like for example, I am the user, I have login, and we need to keep a track of user session ID at the server side, so that way we can only produce the relevant data to them. जैसे कि नेट बैंकिंग का एप्लीकेशन है मान लो, सो नेट बैंकिंग में जैसे ही मैं लॉग इन करता हूँ, स्टेट बैंक का एप्लीकेशन है, आई हैव लॉग इन एंड नाउ आई वांट टू सी माय अकाउंट बैलेंस. So we have to maintain some session at the server side to identify who is requesting for displaying the account balance. If I am a user 1, so मुझे जो account balance है वो user 1 का ही दिखाना पड़ेगा, right? I cannot show you the account balance of user 2, so it will be a session bleeding issue and it will be a security issue as well. So in order to maintain a track, keep a track of the sessions or user at the server side, we will require the session management. And this is the server side session management technique. Cookie भी रहता है, with the help of cookie also we can keep a track of the user, but that is the client side session management technique. Client side यानी that cookie will be reside on the browser and session will be reside at the server side. Okay, and at the end, once we're done with this advanced Java concept, we will again have one more mini project on the weekend only. 3-4 hours का सेशन रहेगा जहाँ पे हम ये सब क्रूड ऑपरेशंस करके देखेंगे. Okay, with the help of JSP and Servlet. It is very legacy technology, and but you should have this understanding, because on top of this concept only we have the frameworks like Spring framework, Spring Boot framework. So we should have the understanding of these core technologies, core topics as well. So that's why I have just added that in module 2. Once we're done with this, नाउ वी विल मूव ऑन टू द फ्रेमवर्क. जैसे ही हमने अभी पिछले मॉडल में क्या देखा था कि सर्वलेट है, जेएसपी है, those are the core topics. On top of them, someone has provided this framework so that way developer can use them easily without having its own boilerplate. Boilerplate यानी कि अपना खुद का कोड हम खुद का फोल्डर स्ट्रक्चर रहेगा, खुद से हम पूरा फ्रेमवर्क लिखेंगे. सो in order to minimize that, we will have our own framework, sorry, unified framework, that is Spring framework. So that way कभी कंपनी में कैसे रहता है कि मान लो 10 एम्प्लॉई है, 10 में से 2 एम्प्लॉई ने रिजाइन डाल दिया और नए 2 एम्प्लॉयज आ गए. सो वी शुड हैव समथिंग यूनिफाइड कि एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट में हमने क्या, किस टाइप का कोड किया है, किस टाइप का आर्किटेक्चर लिखा हुआ है, क्या फ्रेमवर्क है, वो सब. अगर हमने ऐसा कुछ फ्रेमवर्क नहीं यूज़ किया, डायरेक्टली जेएसपी सर्वलेट इससे प्रोग्राम लिखा, so there is a chances कि it will be dependency will be get created by the developer. So जो developers resign करके जा रहे हैं, maybe those developer having has created this framework and only those have the understanding कि कहाँ से कहाँ पे data flow हो रहा है, क्योंकि that is something यूजर स्पेसिफिक और कस्टम फ्रेमवर्क हमने लिखा हुआ है. लेकिन दिस इज द यूनिफाइड फ्रेमवर्क कि स्प्रिंग का एक रूल्स रहते हैं, उसी रूल को फॉलो करते करते हमें कोड लिखना है, एंड दैट इज द यूनिफाइड रूल. एनीवन शुड नो दैट. इवन जैसे ही हम ये टॉपिक मॉड्यूल कंप्लीट करेंगे, यू विल आल्सो गेन द अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हाउ स्प्रिंग फ्रेमवर्क वर्क्स. सो अगर किसी कंपनी में स्प्रिंग फ्रेमवर्क के अंदर किसी प्रोजेक्ट को बनाया हुआ है, so you will not get much time to understand that project and their logic. You can start contributing from day 2. Day 1 for the understanding, day 2 is for the start contributing. So like that. लेकिन अगर किसी ने खुद का फ्रेमवर्क बनाया हुआ है and that developer has left the company, then you will have to understand each and every line, do the documentation, and then assume something and start the development. So that is to avoid that problem. We have the framework as well that we can use in order to use the unified rules, so anyone can start contributing as soon as possible. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम देखने वाले हैं कि स्प्रिंग कोर की जो भी डिपेंडेंसी इंजेक्शन है, बीन्स है, हाईसी कंटेनर्स है, दैट वी विल सी. स्प्रिंग एमवीसी भी है, सेम थिंग, कंट्रोलर व्यूज एंड रेस्ट एपीआई वी कैन डेवलप इन दैट. इनसाइड द स्प्रिंग बूट बेसिकली स्प्रिंग एमवीसी है, इसमें हम पूरा एंड टू एंड एप्लीकेशन बना सकते हैं स्प्रिंग बूट, सॉरी, स्प्रिंग एमवीसी में. So in the Spring MVC, basically you can write the backend logic, front-end logic, as well as database related things. But if you are working with एंटायर आर्किटेक्चर यानी क्या होता है कि फ्रंट एंड का टेक्नोलॉजी अलग रहता है, बैकएंड का टेक्नोलॉजी अलग रहता है, डेटाबेस का टेक्नोलॉजी अलग रहता है. So no dependency. Okay, so in that case you can go with the Spring Boot actually. So in the Spring Boot we can only create the web APIs, so RESTful web APIs, and that will help you to have the business logic at the server side, and it will also help you to communicate with the database. Now you can have your front-end technology like React or Angular that can be communicate with this Spring Boot API project, and that project will just serve you the data. So the flexibility is like you can create, let's say आपको React का प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है UI में, आप बना सकते हो. If you are having some Android project, that can also call the Spring Boot APIs. If you are having the iOS project, so that project will also call this Spring Boot API. So the flexibility is you can have one centralized server where multiple client application you can build into the multiple different languages, and those languages or those project we can basically use, we can use the centralized server where we will have the actual business logic and your all the data will be there. Okay, so client can be anything, any language. Server will be one single, and that will serve all these languages or clients. Okay, so that is your entire architecture. But in case of Spring MVC, your front end will be there in the Java, your backend will be there in the Java, and your middle layer will be also there in the Java. So presentation layer, request and response handling in the controller, and models means the database related things. Everything will be there in the Java application. ओके, ऑब्वियसली फ्रंट एंड के लिए आपको HTML CSS लगने वाला है, लेकिन एवरीथिंग विल बी वन सिंगल मोनोलिथिक प्रोजेक्ट. मोनोलिथिक यानी एवरीथिंग विल बी देयर इनसाइड वन सिंगल सॉल्यूशन, दैट इज योर मोनोलिथिक. But with the help of Spring Boot, you can create the microservice architecture. Microservice and you can split your application module wise. You can deploy them independently on different port numbers, and then you can call them from the any front-end application. So that will be more modular approach. Each developer can own multiple microservices. There will be no conflict. Okay, but there is a advantages and disadvantages of monolithic as well as microservices. We will discuss that in detail. But microservice, I would say only go if you are working with the enterprise level project, if you want to make it more maintainable later on, and you have multiple team members working on it. So that case, microservices good approach. But something is like you are working with the small scale application, you want to do the faster development. There are few developers are working with that. You want to complete that within a month or 15 days. Go with monolithic, no problem. Okay, scaling is not a problem like that. So this is what the Spring framework is, and in that we can also see the some ORM frameworks actually. So ORM क्या रहता है कि आपको कभी कभी डेटाबेस टेक्नोलॉजी है, मान लो MySQL है, Postgres है, SQL सर्वर है, Oracle है, MongoDB है, सो मल्टीपल डिफरेंट डेटाबेसेस है. सो अगर मैंने JDBC यूज़ किया तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, स्टोर प्रोसीजर लिखने पड़ेंगे, मुझे SQL क्वेरीज लिखने पड़ेंगे. And suddenly I wanted to change the database. I don't want to go with the SQL. I want to go with the MongoDB now. अभी क्या हो जाएगा, यहाँ पे अगर आप कुछ SQL की क्वेरीज लिख रहे हो, select star from employees, MongoDB doesn't understand this query because that you had write that query for the SQL server MySQL. MongoDB has the collection, it has its own set of aggregation pipelines. Now you have to replace the entire database backend layer with their queries, everything you have to write with the help of new technology or their standards. So to avoid this problem, you can go with the ORM framework that will just help you to write the queries with the help of Java programming language itself. Once you're done with that queries, you can just replace your uh, drivers, and accordingly it easily, I mean without doing any code changes, you can replace the database technology as well. Okay, once we're done with that, we will focus on the unit testing as well with the help of JUnit and Mockito. Mockito is for mocking the dependency, JUnit is for writing the unit test cases. अभी unit test cases क्यों लिखना रहता है, what is the benefit out of it? तो क्या रहता है, मान लो आपने कुछ API बना है, get employees. So get employees जो API है, whenever you include that API into your project, So unit test cases will help you to basically verify whatever API you have written, it is not impacting on the existing functionality, existing model. Also, whatever unit test cases you have written for that API is working fine and it is going through all the code path and it is basically passing all the scenarios. If yes, then only i- our other team member can merge that code into the final project. So that's why you need to go with that. We will learn how we can write the unit test case. Once we're done with this Spring Framework related things or topics, we will have one more mini project that is for e-commerce application, and in that we will create the RESTful API for the products, users, and orders. Okay, so this is the roadmap for this module. Now move on. ओके, मॉडल नंबर 5। अभी तक हमने क्या किया, एक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज का एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग लिया जो था अपना जावा, कोर जावा। देन वी हैव टेकन द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द बैकएंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ सर्वलेट जेएसपी, एंड उसी बैकएंड या फिर मिडल लेयर को हमने फ्रेमवर्क में कैसे यूज करना है वो मॉडल देखा। Now we have to store the data somewhere on the backend side in the database. So for that we will require either SQL or no SQL databases. Okay, so that will help you to store your data permanently somewhere on the cloud or in your computers or servers, and that will help you to basically serve the data for your client applications. So you can go with either SQL। SQL में आपको दो ऑप्शंस रहेंगे, either MySQL और Postgres। ओके, SQL सर्वर हम नहीं लिखने वाले इसमें because that is something for the .NET applications or developed by the Microsoft. So in replacement of that we can go with the MySQL. So MySQL is open source, lightweight, we can use that. There is a PostgreSQL as well. So it is also open source and it has its own advantages. It has a JSON data type. And in this we will have the understanding of DDL operation, DML operation, joins, subqueries and indexing. So DDL क्या होता है कि data definition language. If you want to create the new table, add the new columns, delete the table, drop the table, it has its own set of queries. We will get the understanding of those. Same for DML. DML is something to manipulate the data into the database. So you will have to write the queries like select, insert, delete, जॉइन क्वेरीज। सो ये सब चीज़ें हम यहाँ पे देखने वाले हैं। कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हमने एक स्टोर प्रोसीजर बना दिया या फिर वी हैव क्रिएटेड द select query, but that is not that much performant. It is taking so long time to respond. So in that case, how we can optimize that query, where to apply the indexes, what is the approach we should basically apply the optimal indexes to the table to improve the retrieving performance. We will see that as well. Okay, how to write the store procedure views, that we can do. And ORM जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, ORM is one of the object relationship mapping that will help you to write the SQL queries or database related communication directly into the Java programming language with the help of JPA repository. And you can switch the database technology by just switching the database what I say database drivers. Okay, once you change the driver you can use the new database technology without rewriting the all queries again and again. Okay, so that is the ORM framework. Then there is one more, NoSQL। अभी कैसा रहता है कि टू टाइप्स ऑफ डेटाबेसेस है मार्केट में, एक है SQL डेटाबेस, NoSQL डेटाबेस। NoSQL डेटाबेस वी मोस्टली यूज फॉर द एनालिटिकल पर्पस, जहाँ पे स्कीमा नहीं रहता है। अभी डेटाबेस में जैसे टेबल रहता है, टेबल के अंदर कॉलम्स रहते हैं। सो मान लो एक स्टूडेंट नाम का टेबल है, या फिर एम्प्लॉय नाम का टेबल है। सो इट हैज़ मल्टीपल कॉलम्स लाइक आईडी, नेम, फर्स्ट नेम, लास्ट नेम, फुल नेम, कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर, सैलरी, ये सब चीज़ें। So it has its own fixed schema, right? So that fixed schema I don't want to keep. I have a data, suddenly I will get 5 columns or 2 columns or 10 columns or 15 columns or nested columns, ये सब चीज़ें। So in that case I want to store the JSON object as it is to the database without having any limitations of the schema. You can go with a NoSQL database. So you can store any kind of JSON object. So there is a no limitation on the schema. Okay, it is a schemaless database. So we can learn that as well, and how we can use that for the analytical purpose. So कैसे होता है कि विजुअलाइजेशन टूल होते हैं जैसे कि पावर बीआई है, टैबलू है, एक्सेल है। तो इनमें हमें क्या करना पड़ता है कि डेटा विजुअलाइज करके दिखाना है। हमने डेटा तो स्टोर करके रखा है, लेकिन आई वांटेड to bring some insight out of it, insights. कुछ डैशबोर्ड बनाने हैं, रिपोर्ट्स बनाने हैं. So whatever data we have in the MongoDB, that is, let's say, raw data. So we can analyze the data, do some get some insights out of it and display that into the Power BI. So उसके लिए हमें वो लगता है. Same thing we can use it for the displaying the dashboard reports into the Java application as well. So how to connect to the MongoDB from the Java application, we will see that. Okay. At the end of this model, we will have one more mini project, one more weekend, that is inventory management system with the help of MySQL, MongoDB, both the database with the help of Java backend. Okay. Move on. नाउ ये हो गया बैकएंड का पूरा मतलब हमने एक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज सीख लिया, हमने एक फ्रेमवर्क सीख लिया एपीआई बनाने के लिए, देन हमने डेटाबेस भी सीख लिया डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए. ये हो गया पूरा जावा बैकएंड. I wanted to become full stack developer. Who is full stack developer? Who has the knowledge about front end as well as back end. And so far for the model till model 4 we shall only cover the back end developer role. Okay. अगर आपको ये 4 मॉड्यूल अच्छे से आते हैं, you can still work in the IT industry as a Java backend developer. Okay. But nowadays mostly the companies are hiring for the full stack developer. They don't want to hire two members. One is for front end, one is for back end. They will have to pay double salary. So to save their salaries, they will hire only one person who can work at the front end side as well as back end side. So for that we will learn the model number 5. So in the model number 5 we will mainly focus on the front end only. What is front end? So with the help of front end knowledge you can build the dynamic website. ओके जैसे ही हम google.com ओपन करते हैं या फिर वी हैव ओपन लेट्स से flipkart.com. सो जैसे ही हम कोई वेबसाइट ओपन करते हैं ब्राउजर में, जो भी आपको यूआई दिखता है, यूजर इंटरफेस दिखता है, दैट इज समथिंग वी कैन बिल्ड विथ हेल्प ऑफ ऑल दिस टेक्नोलॉजी. ओके. नाउ यू कैन सी in the front end development we will go with the HTML5, CSS3. So in the HTML5 we will see the semantic HTML, forms, table, CSS grid, all these things. And CSS क्यों लगता है कि हमारे जो HTML के जो contents है, in order to format those content you will require the CSS. Format मतलब you have to give some color coding, you have to alignments. Okay, you want to make it more interactive or more like a user should be able to use that more user friendly आपको बनाना है. So that we can do with the help of CSS. Okay, HTML से हम we can put some contents to the website. Okay, you can build the structure of your website. So that is the primary language for building the web pages. Now there is a JavaScript. So with the help of JavaScript you can add some client-side interactions. So if you want to do some client-side operations in the browser itself without sending that request to the server side, you can use the JavaScript. So JavaScript में भी एक ECMAScript करके concept है, that is the advanced things we can use with the help of JavaScript. So we will learn that how to create the variables, functions, loop, and then how we can do the DOM manipulation. So DOM manipulation यानी if you want to remove the button on the fly, if you want to add new button, if you want to basically add the multiple form elements on the fly based on the user input. So we can manipulate the DOM after rendering the content into your web page. So that also we can learn. We will learn here as a part of JavaScript. Then whenever you want to call the APIs asynchronously, we can go with the promises, async await, page operations, all these things. Once you have the knowledge about HTML, CSS and JavaScript, so these are the core things, same like module number 2. So in the module number 2 we learn about servlet, JSP. Those are the core things. And module number 3 is like someone has created one framework to provide the unified architecture so everyone can get the understanding and start the contribution. So same thing for the front end as well. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript are the core things, and we have the framework that is React.js. So it is having its own set of rules we have to follow in order to build the web application. So it has like we can create the multiple components, you can reuse them. It with the help of React.js you can basically create the single page application. It will never reload the page, so it will be seamless uh, seamless experience for the user as well. So every time क्या होता है कि आपका पूरा पेज रेंडर होता है unnecessarily. मुझे बस क्या करना था कि एक छोटा सा पोर्शन रिफ्रेश करना था, लेकिन it is refreshing the whole page, so it is consuming my internet as well. It is taking time. It is not that much user friendly. So avoid all this kind of problem. You can start using the React.js. So in the React.js, we can create multiple components that can be reused into multiple different pages. And then we can have we can see what is the functional component, what are the hooks, lifecycle hooks are there. Then routing हम कैसे कर सकते हैं, API हम कैसे कॉल कर सकते हैं. इसमें एक मटेरियल यूआई और बूटस्ट्रैप का भी इंटीग्रेशन हम करने वाले हैं. बूटस्ट्रैप इज फॉर द रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस. तो रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस यानी कि सेम वेबसाइट अगर हमने मोबाइल में यूज़ किया, सो ऑल द कंटेंट शुड बी डिस्प्ले और विजिबल प्रॉपरली बेस्ड ऑन द मोबाइल डिवाइस विड्थ एंड देयर साइज. एंड सेम थिंग अगर मैंने लैपटॉप में ओपन किया तो बेस्ड ऑन द डेस्कटॉप height and width, it should automatically adjust all the components in the screen. So that should be more user friendly. Okay, all these things we will see there. And to maintain the state at the client side, we can use the context API or Redux. जैसे कि Redux हम देखेंगे जब आप कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स स्टेट मैनेजमेंट में काम करने हैं, enterprise लेवल एप्लीकेशन आप बना रहे हो, इन दैट केस यू कैन गो विद द स्टेट मैनेजमेंट फॉर द Redux. ओके, बट अगर आपको state management, you are working with small scale application and you have to manage the small amount, small kind of state. You want to just share the data, small data from one component to other component, you can go with the context API. Okay, we will see that in detail. So जो भी बस फ्रंट एंड में जॉब देख रहा है, जिसको ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे बस फ्रंट एंड आना चाहिए, and then I wanted to start my career with the IT industry. So front end is something very easy than compared to the back end, first of all. अभी ऐसा होता है कि कुछ स्टूडेंट है जो कंप्यूटर साइंस बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, सो जावा में उनको थोड़ा टफ जा सकता है शुरू में. सो दे कैन स्टार्ट देयर करियर एज अ फ्रंट एंड डेवलपर इन द आईटी इंडस्ट्री. जैसे ही आपका फ्रंट एंड का पूरा नॉलेज आ जाता है, धीरे धीरे आप बैक एंड की तरफ मूव कर सकते हो. ओके, बट इफ यू हैव द नॉलेज अबाउट फ्रंट एंड एज वेल एज बैक एंड, then you will have more opportunities than only the front end developer. So that's the difference. Okay, now once we're done with this module number 5, you will become the front-end developer. Okay, let's move back again. Okay, so at the end हम क्या करेंगे? One more weekend, sorry, there will be one more job portal हम देखने वाले हैं, या फिर student dashboard बनाने वाले हैं. So that will help you to create the front-end UI for them. Okay, so that many project we'll see. Next is वट एवर फ्रंट एंड हमने क्रिएट किया था, वट एवर बैक एंड हमने क्रिएट किया था, वट एवर डेटाबेस हमने अंडरस्टैंड किया था, अभी ये तीनों को जोड़ने का टाइम आ गया है. सो दैट दिस मॉड्यूल इज फॉर दैट ओनली, इंटीग्रेशन. As a full stack developer, I wanted to integrate the front end components with the backend API and backend API with the database, and how to create the end-to-end application by my own. मुझे खुद से ही बनाना है. I don't want to be dependent on the DB team. I don't want to be dependent on the API team, and I don't want to be dependent on the front end team. As a full stack developer, I should be able to take care of each and every layer of the application without needing the help from anyone. No dependency. So this model will help you to do that. Okay, we will see how we can integrate the front end APIs into the front end, how we can handle form validation, authentication. While integrating that, obviously those API which I have created will require some authentication and authorization. So how to create the JWT token, how we can pass that to authorize ourselves, how we will keep a track of the JWT token by each and every user. That thing we will see point number 4. Okay, then sometimes I want to upload some files, I want to download some files, how we can call the APIs to upload the files, how we can send the data in a multi-part format. All these things we will see there. एंड जैसे मैंने बोला था कि एरर हैंडलिंग, एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग हम बैकएंड में कर सकते हैं. सेम थिंग यू कैन डू इन द फ्रंट एंड साइड एज वेल. एंड वंस वी बेसिकली लेट्स से आपको कुछ एरर आया वेब एप्लीकेशन में, बट आपने वो हैंडल किया हुआ है. ओके, यूजर इज सीइंग सम generic message that there is some issue at the backend side, please try again later. लेकिन जो एक्चुअल इशू आया था, क्या इशू था, दैट इशू वी विल नॉट एक्सपोज विद द एंड यूजर. एंड यूजर को अगर मैंने बताया कि कनेक्शन स्ट्रिंग और डेटाबेस इज नॉट रीचेबल, ही विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड. मैं क्या करूँ, डेटाबेस नहीं रीच हो रहा है. तो आई वांटेड टू ओपन माय login, open my account. I just wanted to log in. If it is not reachable to the database, then what I can do there? End user will say like this, right? So end user is not a technical person. He will not understand that term. So in that case, still I will require that message to give some hints to the developer what is going wrong there. Then only I can fix that issue. So I will have to log that message somewhere in the log file. So how to do that we will see as a part of point number 5, 6. Okay. And then at the end we will build the application and we will run that application end to end. Like front end side we will use the React, Spring Boot and for the creating the APIs. MySQL is our database and JWT for the authentication and authorization mechanism. So we have three different choices there. Either we can go with employee management system project, or we can go with e-commerce application, or we can go with the job portal. Okay, we will decide which one we should go with, and accordingly we will start the development. There will be two weekends here. I mean 5 hours of session one Saturday and next Saturday 5 hours of session. This is the major project. Okay, 10 hours will give for the module number 6. Now once I done with the application, what next? So I have to basically implement the CI/CD pipeline, because that CI/CD pipeline will help me to deploy that application somewhere on the cloud. ओके, सो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा जेंकिंस का नॉलेज चाहिए, जेंकिंस में पाइपलाइन कैसे क्रिएट करने हैं, सो दैट विल ऑटोमेटिकली हेल्प मी टू डिप्लॉय माय कोड. एज सुन एज आई कंप्लीट सम कोड, चेक इन देम, देन इट शुड ऑटोमेटिकली गेट डिप्लॉयड टू द QA एनवायरनमेंट. हम एक एनवायरनमेंट बनाने वाले हैं, डेवलपमेंट एनवायरनमेंट, टेस्टिंग एनवायरनमेंट. सो दैट एनवायरनमेंट में आपका कोड ऑटोमेटिकली डिप्लॉय भी होना चाहिए. डिप्लॉय मतलब जैसे कि मैंने मेरे लैपटॉप में कुछ काम किया, ओके, so that new changes should be get reflect on my website. So आप आपके लैपटॉप से अगर वो वेबसाइट एक्सेस कर रहे हो with the help of internet, you should be able to see my changes. So for that we need to deploy that website somewhere on the cloud. Okay, so that we will see here as a part of module number 7. So we will see how we can check in and check out code with the help of Git, how we can deploy that with the help of CI/CD pipeline. While deploying it, how we can use the Docker, Kubernetes, and how we can monitor their logs as well. जो भी हमने log file में logs लिखे थे, how we can monitor them with the help of Grafana, that we will see. And for building the project, there are two types of tools like Maven and Gradle. We will go with the Maven here, and then we can deploy that to the AWS. Okay, not Azure, not Render. I will go with the AWS AKS. Okay, Kubernetes. Moving on, then we have done with our preparation as of now. So we have taken the understanding theoretically for the website development end to end as a full stack developer. We have taken the understanding of practically as well, and we have successfully deployed that application also with the major project. Now this is the time for preparing for the interviews. So for that we will get the understanding about some logical questions, then interview preparation and soft skill, how to attend the interviews. इंटरव्यू में हमें कैसे बात करना है, कैसे बिहेवियर अपना होना चाहिए, अगर इंटरव्यूअर कभी कभी प्रेशराइज सिचुएशन क्रिएट करता है, then how to handle that. So that we will learn into the soft skill. Okay, and I will give you some important IMP questions as well. So that IMP questions will help you to prepare for the interviews accordingly. So that way you can attend those and crack the interviews. Anything, any questions you did not understand during the interviews, just note it down. We will work on that again and attend for next interviews. So this is for the preparing for the placements. Okay, at the end of this course, what you will get out of it? So you will get basically you can be able to successfully build and deploy the full stack application till module 7. Okay, after that you can crack your Java interviews because of the module number 8, and after that you can understand the real world development environment, so that way as a developer you should be able to survive your job. So this is what I have crafted everything very carefully, so that way we will not focus on any unnecessary things. This is the job, like a job oriented course, where in order to survive your job in the IT industry, what things you should know. All the things I have included carefully, so that way you can at the end will get this outcome out of this course. Okay, so that is all about the syllabus and things which I wanted to cover in this session. If you have any questions, please ask.